The Philadelphia sports scene these days, so promising. The degree of support among each of the city's teams, virtually unprecedented.
Ringing tonight's bell, he threw the most touchdowns in Eagles history, Carson Wentz!
What's it like for a star athlete from another sport to go to a 76ers game?
When they play at home, the way the crowd gets into it, and it just becomes an electric place. And for me, I can compare it to playing at the Lynx, just feeling the energy and seeing the guys kind of feed off that and rally off of that, just having fun.
Philadelphia Eagles starting quarterback Carson Wentz, our guest on this episode of the BroadCast. Hey there, and thank you so much for checking us out here on the Sixers Podcast Network. I'm Brian Seltzer, very excited to bring you a chat with the man from the Birds, Carson Wentz, in just a moment. To subscribe to our podcast feed, it is pretty simple. Just go to anywhere you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, TuneIn, search Sixers Podcast Network, click subscribe, and that does the trick. We're doing new episodes just about every day this postseason and putting out reaction episodes the night and morning after each game, so stay connected and tune in. Please, we would love to have you as a subscriber. Okay, so I'm in my early 30s, probably now more closer to my mid-30s. Grew up in suburban Philadelphia. I lived through the 93 Philadelphia Phillies, the Legion of Doom 1997 Philadelphia Flyers, 2001 76ers with AI, Aaron, Eric Snow, Eagles with Andy and Donovan in the early to mid-2000s, and up until recently, in my opinion, we have never seen anything like the degree of support we're seeing now between players on the city's teams. It's special, it's really amazing, and so cool to see the true brotherly love that's existing between these franchises. And it's something that I wanted to talk about with a member of the Philadelphia Eagles, given how much they've turned out to games over the last couple weeks and months, and Carson Wentz was up for it. Before we played the interview, I wanted to set some context for the conversation. Let's go back a couple days before a big Game 3 win for the 76ers over the Toronto Raptors in the Eastern Conference semifinals second round. And it was a moment that I thought really captured the essence of the spirit between the sports teams in Philly. Our video crew got to follow around Carson Wentz before he, the Phillies' Rhys Hoskins, and the Flyers' James Van Riemsdyk rang the bell before tip-off of Game 3. So here's some of the sounds behind the scenes of that.
You guys met? Yeah. Couldn't find a way to three dudes to ring the bell.
Yeah. Don't drop it. No baton drops.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah. I'd say I'm gonna go first, so I can't drop it.
If you drop it, I'm just gonna headbutt it. That's actually more of James's alley.
I'm thinking I might go.
Hold on to it and clean handoff.
Yeah.
We drop it, and I'm standing there with no hammer. You might have to improvise. I don't know if the team will like that.
The bell is a symbol of the city's unity and passion. In the spirit of brotherly love, ringing tonight's bell. From your Philadelphia Phillies, Philadelphia Flyers, and Philadelphia Eagles, Rhys Hoskins, James Van Riemsdyk, and Carson
Awesome stuff, and without further ado, here's Carson Wentz. We started our chat the other day by talking about what's been the draw for him to go to 76ers games over the past couple of years.
Well, for one, I wish I got to come to more. Anytime I can, and when I'm in the area, it just works out great. But, it's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I know for me, didn't really follow the NBA a ton in college. So when I got here, I was all in for all of Philly sports, and it was easy to quickly fall in love with the Sixers and just their style of play and everything. And obviously, as of late, with a lot of the young talent, both with the Sixers and just really with all the sports teams in the city, with the young talent and everything, it just seems like it's easy to get on the bandwagon. And we enjoy it when we make it to the games for sure.
I would say in no way, shape, or form are you on a bandwagon. I feel like you have been there through thick and thin over the last couple seasons for sure. You mentioned getting into the NBA. Well, what do you like about NBA basketball and in specific to the way the Sixers go about their business on the court?
Yeah, I mean, for one, with the Sixers, I mean, just all the playmakers they have. It's just fun to watch. And then, you just being when they play at home, just the way the crowd gets into it, and it's just it really becomes an electric place. And for me, I can compare it to playing at the link or playing at home in college football. Those types of things, just feeling the energy and seeing the guys kind of feed off that and rally off of that, and just having fun. But the game of basketball is just, it's such an international sport. Whether you grew up playing it or not, it's just so easy to follow and easy to like and root for these guys. So, it's been pretty cool to be able to follow it and become a true fan of the sport and of the Sixers.
And you played hoops yourself growing up. When did you first start playing basketball?
Yeah. So when I was a kid, I played literally every sport. Whatever season it was, I played that sport. But so I remember shooting hoops in the driveway for as long as I can remember. I was kind of followed the Timberwolves growing up. That was the closest team to us. So I was always out in the driveway pretending I was Kevin Garnett or something like that, just playing hoops with my buddies. But played in high school. We won state my senior year, which sounds like a big deal. In North Dakota, obviously there's not quite the talent there is in some of these other states, but we had a blast. I wasn't a basketball guy. I was big, obviously, in football and baseball, but basketball was just another sport that I loved, and I definitely cherished it. And there's still not many things like just going to the gym and shooting hoops and having some fun with the boys like that.
Can you give me a self-scout on Carson Wentz, the basketball player at Century High School in Bismarck, North Dakota?
Well, he was a hard worker. He was a really good defender. Good at pounding the glass. Terrible at free throws. I actually senior year at 50% on the nose from the free throw line. So definitely needed some more work there. Wasn't much of a shooter. I'd take it to the hole, but I was athletic. I could play, and I think that's why just being the size I was for high school sports in North Dakota, and I wouldn't say I was great. I think I was effective.
So it was never close at all, football, basketball, at any point in your athletic progression and timeline?
No, I grew up playing hockey more than basketball. So basketball was kind of just a side hobby for a little while, and then I quit hockey and just got in basketball late, and kind of just did it because some of my buddies, wanted me to, and I grew a lot. So yeah, it was never a contest of what I was going to play, that's for sure.
So one of the reasons why I wanted to reach out and try to get some Eagle, any Eagle on our podcast, and it just so happened to be you, which is fantastic, was something you alluded to at the start of our conversation, that right now, and I've lived in the area my entire life, there just seems to be a special amount of camaraderie and support between the four major professional sports teams in the city. Is it just a matter of timelines of some of these organizations being somewhat similar, with young cores being there, or what do you attribute it to, that there's been so much support back and forth between a lot of these teams?
Yeah, I think you're right on a little bit with just, there's a lot of young core talent on a lot of these teams. But really just this city and the sports culture that's out here. It just lends itself when you're a young kid like me coming into a new city that you might not know a lot about, and you just see the passion that they have for the sport you play, and then the way they kind of have the same passion for all other organizations in the city. It's just easy to kind of just grab onto that and make it your own as well. And so for me, whether it's Flyers, Sixers, Phillies, obviously. Just passionate about it, just like all the fans. And so to be able to support the fans and support the team that support us, it's pretty cool.
It also seems to me, and I don't know how you feel about it, that some of the, and this might be the wrong word for it, some of the signature young core players for all the teams, they kind of have the fabric or DNA that really resonates in the city. Look at yourself, your background, blue collar, not to use cliches, workman-like, someone like, the way the Sixers play with Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons and Jimmy Butler, J.J. Redick, guys like that, Bryce Harper and Reese with the Phillies. Do you feel like that common thread has helped the connection become even stronger in such a short period of time with younger players in the city?
Yeah, I think without a doubt. I think, and again, I just kind of throw it back to the city's culture and blue collar work ethic and kind of what you just said. The city gets behind guys that have that mentality and that upbringing and those values. So, those are the types of young talent that we have in the city. So it's easy to just kind of form that bond, whether you've actually met and, hang out with the guys, so to speak, or just, you just mutually support each other. I think it's just, you have that common thread of A, being a Philly athlete, and B, just that hard-nosed, work ethic that this city loves. I think it just makes it easy to root for each other.
Have you had a chance to get to know any of the guys in the 76ers at all the last couple of years?
Not really. I met Joel once at a signing real briefly, but believe it or not, I haven't really had a chance. Just recently, met Bryce Harper and Reese Hoskins and some of those guys, but no one on the Sixers quite yet.
I 100% believe it, because it's not like you guys don't have busy schedules or anything like that. You guys have a lot of things occupying your time. Has there been a favorite moment or game that, as I put you on the spot, you can think of off the top of your head that you've been at so far?
Boy, that's a great question. You're going to put me on the spot. I mean, honestly, the last what was it, last Thursday, I think, being at that Raptors home game, when they really turned it on and kind of blew them out. That to me is, it's one of the more recent memories, but just seeing the way they were playing on fire, Big Joel was, acting a fool out there, having a blast. And when he plays with that emotion, you can just see the team feed off of it and the crowd feed off of it. And it just makes it fun to watch. So that one really for me sticks out last week.
This might be a little bit of a stretch and a reach with this question, but do you ever, given the position you play with the Eagles, try to see the game through that type of lens that someone like a Ben Simmons has to play with when he's out there? I mean, that might be just a really silly question, but do you find your mind wandering in those areas when you watch other sports?
Maybe a little bit. I try to anytime, just with our schedule and everything, and just life is just football. So I try and remove myself as much as I can and just be a fan at times. But at the same time, maybe not from the X's and O's standpoint, do you think about it so much, but you can relate with what they're going through, from the pressures of playing through playing in this city, and just, the ups and downs, highs and lows, and just the mental side of the game. You really just kind of relate. And, it's just you cheer for those guys because you kind of just know what you go through as an athlete and being on the big stage, and especially in this city. So maybe a little bit, I guess, to answer your question.
Wanted to follow up on that in a second, but before we move on, what's it like being a bell ringer at a 76ers game? Because I heard the other afternoon, Shane Victorino and Charlie Manuel from the Phillies were at Game 4 against the Raptors, and Shane Victorino was like, I've played in World Series and big baseball games, but I'm nervous, man, right now. I don't know how it's going to gong when I hit the bell. So what's it like going out there and being a bell ringer at a 76ers game?
I mean, it's pretty cool. I've been fortunate enough to do it more than once. So it's just cool, just because the way, that really kind of jump starts the whole building and the energy, right before tip off and everything. So gets the fans going, and it's cool just to just what it symbolizes and the unity of the city and everything that it kind of stands for. It's definitely a special honor, and I enjoy doing it when I get the chance.
You obviously, of course, are no stranger to perseverance, battling through adversity, and seeing success on the other side of it. 76ers, they're up against it right now, going into Game 6 on Thursday against Toronto. What have you found to be the best ways to handle overcoming obstacles in your life, whether it's professional sports or something else?
Yeah. I know for me, I know everyone's different, but for me, my faith in Jesus first and foremost is what gets me through. It kind of always is my rock. And where I kind of start, every day, so whether it's, you're going through highs or lows or the good and bad, it doesn't really matter, that thing for me is constant. So really my faith helps get me through. But, anytime you're in those adverse situations, you just, it's so easy, the mental side of things, to just want to, just keep thinking negatively. But if you can really transfer your thoughts to a positive outlook and everything, and just really keep believing, and confidence in football goes a long way, and I know it goes a long way in all sports. So just being confident in who you are as a player and as a person just kind of always motivates me to just keep going and keep fighting.
I'm going to hit you with a football question. OTAs start in a few weeks. Can you give us a sense? I'm sure everyone in this city would love to know what the vibes are like at NovaCare Complex these days and around the team.
Yeah, the energy's high. I'll tell you that. There's a lot of excitement for really all sports these days around here. But I know in this building with the guys in the locker room, there's a ton of excitement. We believe we have a very talented roster and an awesome group of guys. And, we think we can do something special. And it really starts right now with the off-season workouts that we're in and what's coming up here soon. But, I'm extremely excited. Howie and the rest of the organization has done a great job of assembling a really impressive roster, and we just got to keep building that bond and building that chemistry. And like I said, I think we have the potential to do something special.
In between some of the OTAs, you also have a big event coming up yourself on May 31st, your annual charity softball game. I mean, it had an incredible impact last year, over 25,000 fans, $850,000 raised, amazing. What inspired you to organize this event in the first place?
Yeah, I just knew right when I got out here with the foundation work we were doing that, I wanted to get involved in the city. So, with the food truck that we launched and those types of things from a giving back standpoint, but also I wanted to do a community event that really kind of just brought people together. And, the softball game was just something that clicked for me. It was kind of a no-brainer. And we had a lot of fun with it, last year. The fans were amazing. The guys were amazing. My teammates, the good, the bad, the ugly, that all showed up to play. We had guys striking out in softball, it happens. But no, we just had a lot of fun with it, and I'm looking forward to doing it this year and hopefully for many years to come. I think it's just a good way to bring the city together. And I know for us, the fans of the Eagles, football seems like it's such a long way away. So it's kind of just something that breaks it up and something different for fans to come and, just see us compete in a different way. And we have fun with it. And it's always good to see professional athletes struggle at a different sport like that. So we enjoy it.
Setbacks pave the way for comebacks. Hey, I gotta think. I gotta think that having good fortune and being able to spread that around to others has got to be a pretty great feeling. What does that feel like to you, being able to use your platform in such a way to do good?
Yeah, I ultimately think I think God put me here for a reason. Put me in this spotlight, so to speak, and gave me this platform for a reason. And I don't want to take it for granted. I don't want to use it just to promote myself. I want to promote the Lord through it, and then also just try and help and give back to others that, whether they're in a less fortunate situation or whatever it is. I just ultimately feel like that's what I'm called to do. And, there's not many things that kind of make you feel better and really just seeing other people's lives change through the opportunities and experiences that we can provide through the foundation. So it's an amazing feeling. It's an amazing blessing. But it's also a high calling, I feel, that we have anytime you're given a platform like this. So I enjoy it, and it's pretty cool.
Carson Wentz, starting quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles, strong, a loyal supporter of the Philadelphia 76ers. You are a good man for doing this. Thanks so much. Continued success and best of luck.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Great stuff. Great guy. Great cause. Carson Wentz, so appreciative that he took some time out of his schedule to come on the podcast. For more information and to purchase tickets for that May 31st annual softball game, the Carson Wentz charity softball game, you can go to ao1foundation.org. That's ao1foundation.org, and there's links there to purchase tickets to Carson Wentz's annual charity softball game. Terrific. Thank you for checking out this episode of the BroadCast. A reminder that after Game 6 and any other games played in this Eastern Conference semifinal series, the playoffs, we'll have some reaction on the podcast, so check your feeds. Talk to you next time. See ya.